Alright, howdy everybody. It's Nicodemus Kane. I'm back. It is a Saturday. It is May the 9th, 11:46 in the morning. I slept in because I'm not feeling myself. It's not that I'm sick. I don't feel good. I don't mentally, spiritually. I just don't feel I feel kind of overburdened, and I did ask the Father to take it off of me because I just feel overwhelmed. Um, it's a bad night for dreams, just weirdy dreams, just weird, crazy stuff. And I woke up and I just I didn't feel like interacting. I tried, we had the grandbaby here and it was nice, but I just didn't feel right. So I went back to sleep. Had even weirder dreams, and I don't feel I don't feel like myself. Put it that way. I probably shouldn't be recording this, but I said I don't know if I'm going to have time because we have so much stuff to do this weekend. Um, so I said I wanted to get this out because if I don't, I'll forget everything. Then I think the biggest reason that I'm not feeling myself is that I just really this world just is not it's not what I grew up in. It really isn't. Um and of course all the young kids can say, "Well, you know what, old man, that's what you get. Things change, things happen." It's entirely possible. I'm sure that the world that my mother lived in, my father lived in before I was born, I'm sure by the time that I was old enough to be able to go out on my own, I'm sure they probably said the same thing. But this is beyond control. I don't even know I don't even know where to start with this. I really don't. Um I guess the first thing I should start with is saying that this one's probably going to be a long one because I have several topics to cover. Um I'm going to try to cover them in relevancy, I guess. I don't know. I want to end it with some other stuff I've been having on my mind, something that popped into my head yesterday. But the first thing I want to show you guys the dream I had this morning. So messed up. I woke up and I could hear my wife and a grandbaby. This is in my dream. This isn't reality. I could hear them downstairs and she was talking to her about how do I do this the proper way? Masturbation? She's like not even 2 years old yet. Talking about it. Had a book going through it. I've seen the book. I've seen the pictures in the book that they've given out to 5 and 6 year olds that are and it was just overwhelmingly disgusting. Just pure evil and wretchedness. And I'm like, ugh. And I know in my dream I'm saying, why are you doing that? Why is it? And she just kept saying, it's okay, it's okay. And I'm not saying anything against my wife. I love her to death. And that wasn't her. That absolutely was not her in that dream. I had her face, but that wasn't her. So it's not about what she was doing. It was about the situation. It was about this less than 2 year old girl is being taught how to touch herself. Are you serious? And it was just disturbing, and I just kept fighting it and fighting it, and finally it's either I woke up or I changed dreams. I had other dreams too, but I can't remember them. But that was just the one that stuck out in my head, and I'm like, ugh. And that was after I had woke up. We'd woke up early with the baby at about 6:30 in the morning. You gotta love kids, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I said I gotta go back to sleep. So I went back to sleep. Woke up at 10. Actually it was about 9:30, 10. It was enough of a nap to be able to just feel a little better. But I woke up and I got on my phone, and I think it was Twitter. I found this, and it doesn't mean anything. I'm just saying this is what I found. This is, I don't know if Western Journal. I don't know if they're any big stuff or not. But it says who, good old who, comes under fire for saying kids under 4 should be taught about early childhood masturbation. And I'm like, are you serious? And I look at the date, and it's May 8th, and this is yesterday, May 8th. Really? Under 4? This is what I see? And it just, you know, and I kind of went through this, and they talked more about the current crisis than they did anything else. But even children under the age of 4 are specifically prescribed such education under the WHO standards. And I can't really find these WHO standards. I found a couple different things, but it's not. There was a couple different things that they were like, they need to increase sexual education and younger kids, and they need to do all this other stuff, and there's a lot of different things. It encourage early and unhealthy sexual. Okay, that's what it is. The discovery has not been met kindly by Christian organizations and culturally conservative commentators, many of whom suggest the United Nations run organization standards. Well, there's a problem right there. Organization standards will only encourage early and unhealthy sexual behaviors among children and adolescents. Let's see, what else was there? No such concerns, however, seem to exist. Collaborating Center of Sexual and Reproductive Health, which holds on its website that a positive interpretation of sexuality must be fostered in the earliest possible age. Now, I don't think any kid under 4, I don't think any kid under 12 should be worried about sex. I really don't. I don't think they should. Discussions of the first sexual experience are also suggested early on in the curriculum. Nice. I don't think they should be talking about that stuff before 4. That's just me. Because I'll tell you what, I got exposed to it rather early, and it's done nothing for me. It's actually perverted my understanding of sex. I was watching porn at like 10 at my babysitter's house. And I think I probably started masturbating by myself by the time I was 11 or 12. I don't remember. It's a blur now. I just know that that's way too early for anyone, and it perverted my ideas. It did. I absolutely think it did, because I've talked on this channel openly before about my addictions to porn, and I don't see anything healthy coming out of that. I really don't. But to hear about it for kids under the age of 12, or under the age of 4, sorry. Wow, under the age of 4. And then you hear about the thing that, what was his name? Kinsey, the sex doctor, the one that sparked our sex-free revolution, whatever it is. And you hear the story, or you hear about the studies that he did in his paper where he kept what was it? He kept an infant. I don't even know if it was like 1 year old or not. Maybe it was 2. I don't know. But he had this infant orgasm for 72 hours straight or so, 24 hours straight. I don't remember what the hell it was. I'd have to go look that up. And you hear about that stuff, and you hear about pedophilia coming around, these guys Will my video get pulled down because I said that? Probably. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just part of this whole, I just really. What are we doing here? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why's it gotta be like this? I mean, I know why it's like this. What? Where are we going here? Where are we going? What are we doing? It's just been the whole morning. It's just been on my head, and I'm just like, I think I'm just overloaded with it. I think I've just become so overloaded with just how the world has been working. I'm just it's just become too much. It's just become too much. Maybe I need to take a break. I may need to take a break and focus on praying more, focus on reading more. I've been reading the Bible a lot more. Um, it used to be a chore, but now that the overtime, because I was doing overtime at work here for a while. Now that the overtime has stopped, I have that extra hour, and I've been sitting down reading a lot more, and I've been sitting down reading a lot more, and I've been noticing that the presence, the overwhelming, what do you want to call it, presence of evil that has been over everything since all this crap started has kind of shifted away from the house. I feel a little bit lighter. I feel a little bit better. I'm still struggling with temptations everywhere, but it feels lighter. It feels better. I don't know. But today, man, I'm struggling. It's like I said, it's hurting. It's rough. So today I'm gonna try to chill out. After I get done with this, and we'll see what else is going on. Let me see if I can find some other stuff. Oh yeah, another another thing. So so let's just go down the list here. I'm just gonna go down the list of reasons why I don't want to live in this world anymore. I don't want to live in a world where they're going to force us to wear masks. I definitely don't want to live in a world where they're going to teach kids under 4 about early childhood masturbations. I don't want to live in a world where I can't go out in public, just to have my freedoms taken away from me. I definitely don't want to live in a world where we have robot dogs that are patrolling parks telling people to socially distance. Anybody remember these things? They've been on YouTube for a while. We've been seeing them. They're like, oh yeah, they're just creating these robots. They're not gonna do anything with these robots. These robots are just for fun. They're not gonna do anything with them. Well, you know what? I guess the cops have just decided that they don't want to use drones anymore to go out and yell at people and tell everybody to keep their distance from each other. Now they're gonna use these damn things. I read something where they said they're gonna have like RoboCop walking around. I think it might have been this one. I don't know. Boston four-legged robot Spot is being used to encourage social distancing in parks in Singapore. Now this is Singapore, of course. That doesn't mean it's not going to come here. I walks around green place spaces telling people to stay at least 1 meter apart. 1 meter. That's 6 feet. Why don't you guys make it 6.5 feet? 6.66 feet. Robot doesn't enforce it, but Singapore does have a strict lockdown measures that could result in fines or even jail time if not followed. So basically what they're saying is there's a camera on this thing. There's cameras here, and I'm sure there's cameras here. And there's a speaker. Anybody gonna stand up and like go bash these things or something, man, if you see one around? Or is that whenever the robot enters attack mode and gets up on its hind legs and kills you? But if you, it's not enforcing it, but it could result in fines. It's not enforcing it, but it could result in fines. Basically, that means it's enforcing it. Shut up. Far from barking its orders, a robot dog enlisted by Singapore authorities to help curb remote controlled, yada, yada, yada. You see this nonsense? I swear to shit, man. Just keep a bat with you everywhere you go. If you see one, it's got to be yellow and black. That's the hive mind mentality, the bees, the hive mind thing. If you don't know about the hive mind mentality, I'm going to recommend Truth Stream Media like 50 times in this video, probably. They've been on top of the hive mind stuff, where they're kind of it's about, what are they? The cone graphics that we've been seeing everywhere, the hexagons, this beehive mind, the whole making people think the same, and of course you have the one queen that controls the hive, and the whole routine. And you've got the yellow and black here, it's the bees, and of course they've been telling you that the bees are dying, and now they have murder hornets that just happen to be black and yellow. God. Despite the niceties, breaches of the yada yada yada, it doesn't matter. City-state of 5.7 million has more than 21,000 cases. 21,000 people out of 5.7 million. Somebody do the math on that. Is that even a %? It's insane. And really, 21,000 people? You know what, man? I bet you that many people have died from car wrecks within 1 month. Then, I mean, come on. Seriously. I don't know. Go do the math. Another robot in the shape of a small car has been deployed at nearby reservoir. So this is like some Orwellian. This is where it's heading, guys. If you thought the drones were bad, wait until they release the dog robots on you. And then they get that one guy that walks around and this is yesterday. This is mainstream news. This is yesterday's stuff. This is coming. Are you going to stop it? Are you going to stop it? Or are you just going to watch it and take pictures? I mean, really? It's time to stop it. This is a police state. This is beyond police state, because now they just take the human element out of it and they just have a robot come arrest you, because you can actually empathize with a human. You can talk a human down from hurting another human. It's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible that you can talk another human down from hurting another human. This doesn't even have to be driven by a human. This can be driven by an AI. That's where we are, man. This is every tyrannical dictator's wet dream come true. This is part of the whole New World Order of goodness. And I find this interesting. This is another reason why I don't want to live here anymore. Just type in, Google this. Just type in the New World Order. Okay, you've got, I love this though. It's Wikipedia. It's conspiracy theory. Go to the news. Your conspiracy theory is all over the news now. 2 days ago in fracking's New World Order, only the strongest will survive. New York, 2 days ago, pandemic to usher in New World Order with China on top. 6 days, the world order is dead. Here's how to build a new one. 1 day ago, will India do enough for a lead role in the WO? I don't know how many times I can say it before I get busted, so I'm just going to stop saying it. 3 days ago, RSS talks of NWO post-CV pandemic. 2 weeks, Hollywood is about to be reshaped by giants. Where was the one? There was one over here, too. I thought this was interesting. Hollywood stars call CV a chance for radical transformation. Well, you know what's interesting? I read an article the other day where all the celebrities are coming together and telling everybody that they need to stay inside. They're doing their damnedest and getting mad at people for not staying inside and doing their duty. Well, you know what? Or no, they were getting mad at the protests, is what they were. The people that are protesting because they don't have jobs anymore. And I'm just kind of like, oh, look, the millionaire celebrities in Hollywood are telling the no name people that just got laid off, that don't have jobs anymore, that are starving, that are having to go to food banks. They're telling them that they need to follow the rules. When are you going to stand up? When are you going to fight it? When are you going to fight it? Are you going to fight it? Because I'll tell you what, I saw a Reddit post today on it was the CV Reddit, and there are so many people that think that anybody that wants to not do what they tell us to do are out of your minds. And the amount of likes that these posts are getting it's insane. The small group of people, and it can't be small because there's got to be more than just what I'm seeing. Because 36 or what is okay, we said it was 33 million people are out of jobs, and now I've heard it's 66 million at this point. You love the numbers. 66 million people. I don't know how much it is, 33 or 66 million people. It's still a lot. There's a lot of people that are out of jobs and are going broke, losing their livelihoods. All the small business owners. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I I'm ready to go, man. I just what are you gonna do? You gonna sit back? I'm just saying, can't peacefully protest anymore. These people are, ooh, howdy, boy, they are pushing it, ain't they? Uh, China's global infrastructure, laying the foundations for I bet you I know what it says. NWO 2 days ago. See what I mean? CV, who will be the winners and losers in an NWO? That was a month ago. It didn't even barely even started back a month ago. See what I mean now? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And if you go back to the front page, oh, it's just a theory. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. Claimed to be an emerging clandestine totalitarian world government by various theories. And then it's all over your news. Come on, people. Come on, people. You got to see it. It's happening. It's coming. Speaking of coming, let's talk about oh, look at this, Money in the Bank. I'm not watching it. I might watch it. I don't know. I've given up on wrestling at this point. That was a good segue. I didn't even mean to do that. I'm sorry. That's just bad. I'm sorry. This one's been on my radar for a hot minute, and I've been kind of joking around about it for a while. This popped up. Actually, Angie sent it to me. This was yesterday. Everything's been yesterday. Yesterday was a day. Oh, howdy. This is Fox 59 News. There's also one, CBS News. Anyways, CV found in men's semen even after recovery, researchers say. Yep. This goes along with a couple of news things I was reading a couple weeks ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where they were saying that men's testicles are storing CV. And I was like, oh, well, that's just friggin' awesome, isn't it? Oh, look at this. That's nice. Indiana they love their numbers, man. Indiana reports 606 new cases as Central Indiana prepares to reopen. No, we're not. I'm sorry. I live in Central Indiana, and we're not preparing to reopen. They've still got everything closed down. I don't know what you're talking about. It was done 6 minutes ago. Now, of course, I could wait for another minute. Am I say 7 minutes ago? I don't know, but that's just how this works, man. The numbers are everywhere. Anyways, the new CV can persist in men's semen even after they have begun to recover, a finding that raises the possibility that the virus could be sexually transmitted. That's where we're at, guys. It's sexually transmitted. Now, I made the joke yesterday, and I'm going to make the joke now that wait, let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. Where was it? But according to this, it's blah 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 blah. I love the 9s and the 6s. That's awesome. We found that it's in there. The one thing I read in this, which I thought was crazy, was where was it at? I thought there was one that. I guess not. Was this the one? It was something about the people that are hit the biggest. No, it's not. Damn it, that sucks. The hell is that? Something about they must have taken it out or something. I don't know, because there was something inside of this article. I read this article yesterday. There was something in this about the people in prisons are the worst because, they're all having sex with each other and they're having problems with it. And then that led to abstinence or condom use might be considered as preventative means for these patients. In addition, it is worth noting that so this is where I have to stop. Oh, look, here it is. Here's another one too. In addition, it is worth noting that there is a need for studies monitoring fetal development. Therefore, to avoid contact with the patient's saliva and blood might not be enough. Okay. So this goes from one place to another place to another place. This is like a multi-tiered, nonsensical thing, all right? The first thing I have to do is make a joke. And the joke I have is, are you wearing masks and gloves while you're having sex? I mean, really? Where's your 6.66 feet of social distancing when you're having sex with an infected person? What's that all about? Huh? Okay, anyways. My second problem with this is where this is leading, because depopulation agendas, they're hitting on all fronts. They don't just want to hit, one or two small places. They want to hit your ass everywhere. And this is how they hit you everywhere. They are saying abstinence or condom use, and even monitoring fetal development that comes from this. I just want to make sure I got this so I'm not looking at myself. Okay. Depopulation agendas affects every form. This is above and beyond if you think about it. They are talking about ways that you have to refrain from sex. And if you do have sex, then we have to watch your babies, because your babies can be infected. And it just could keep going on and on and on. And when I heard this 2 weeks ago, because like I said, this is yesterday, this one from CBS, it's sexual transmission unclear. I don't want to talk to you. This is the same stuff over and over again. Wait. Included force. Recover. I don't know what that means. When was this? This was yesterday. This was yesterday too. Yada yada yada. I think it's all the same crap. Basically, it is it's sexually transmitted. They're not saying it is, but if it's in the semen, what are you gonna do? But this is basically, this gives them carte blanche to say, you either have to abstain or we might have to castrate you. We might have to sterilize you. Ooh, Now I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying anything I say here, I'm not saying it's going to happen, because there's always a way for you to stop it. It's called rising up, is what it's called. It's called getting up out of your chair and saying, no, we're not going to do this. Getting your neighbors to understand what's happening and then getting them to say, no, we're not going to do this. I'm not saying robot dogs are going to come and watch us in the parks, because you got a chance to stop it. But if you don't stop it, guess what's going to be in the parks in a couple weeks? Robot dogs. I'm not saying that they're going to come and sterilize you if you happen to have CV, because they think that CV can be sexually transmitted. But if you don't stand up to it, they're going to do it. It's going to be there. I said at the very beginning of this, 2 weeks ago, I was reading the article, and I cannot find the article anymore. It must have disappeared. But 2 weeks ago, they said that men have the ability to be able to store CV in their testicles. This was 2-3 weeks ago. They were saying this. And I said it at the time, watch. They're going to, that'll be, I said at the time, that will either be the reason that they have to come into the houses, to pull the men out of the houses so that the women and the children are vulnerable, or it's going to give them a reason to sterilize the men or castrate the men in order to help with the depopulation. I said that 2 weeks ago. And look where we are. Look at this. Look at this. Abstinence or condom use. And the need for studies monitoring fetal development. This goes into the whole CRISPR stuff where they're messing with DNA, where they want to be able to, tailor your DNA to or tailor your baby's DNA to the way that they want it, or yada, yada, yada. It's like Gattaca, making perfect babies. It's there. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It may not happen. You may get lucky as hell. This may not happen. This may all blow over. They may be telling us the truth. I doubt it. Because the stuff they're saying is just vile and nefarious. But this is this. That's that. That's. I'm sorry, but a shot won't be enough. We're going to have to make sure you can't reproduce babies ever again. You get it yet? Do you see where it's going? I said this is the way that they pull them in, and this is the way that they pull the testicles. I even said, watch. It's going to come down the line, and it probably will still come down the line. I don't know. They're going to say something about it being in our hair. Because we drop hair everywhere all the time. 24/7. We can't go outside because of our hair. We have to be shaved bald in order to be able to go anywhere and do anything, because our hair carries this stuff. So you have to shave now. Because the first thing I thought was, oh, watch, they're going to make me shave my beard. What if that's the thing? Make us all bald, unrecognizable human feeders that do absolutely nothing. They already got you out there wearing masks. All these beautiful people in the world, and they got half your face covered up. All I can see is your eyes. I can't trust you if you're wearing a mask. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't see your face. I can't tell if you're sticking your tongue out at me or what. I can't tell. They already got you doing that. So now you're going to be bald shaved with masks. You can't have sex. Can't reproduce. It's all right, though, because we're going to reproduce in labs to make sure that we still repopulate everything, even if whether they want to repopulate or not. Did this all reset? Because I think it's funny that this didn't reset. I've been sitting here talking for like 5 minutes. That's still at 6 minutes. There's your numbers. Anyways, so that's that. That's this. This is. It works on every level. They have found a way to make it work on every single level. This is the level where it just gets nuts. Literally nuts. But this is where it gets nuts. This is the point. I was saying this a week ago. This is where it's going. They're finding a way to make it happen on every single level, and this is what's next. And that's just why I don't want to live here anymore. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm over it. I can't keep coming on here and saying this stuff over and over again and not be driven crazy. That's why I said I have to step away from it. I don't know. I mean, for a while there, for this week, how many videos did I do back to back to back? I think I had like four days back to back to back because there was something every day. And I even said in one of the other ones, I was like, I can't keep doing this. It's every single day. So, oh, I don't even know anymore, man. It's just so insane. And then, like I said, you read that Reddit post, and these people, man, they think anything that goes against what they've been told is just blasphemy to them. And wow, well, my eye looks nasty. I got the stuff in it. I have a doctor's appointment on the 24th, I think, because I have that sty, and that sty is not going away, and I don't want to go to the doctor. I really don't. Actually, it feels like it's going away. It really does. But I'll tell you this much: if anybody wants to pull some gook out of it, if anybody wants to say a prayer or two, pray for this thing to go away before my doctor's appointment so I can cancel it, so I don't have to go in. They got you out there freaking out over every little thing. Worried about masks, worried about gloves, doing far more harm to yourself than good. You remember back in the day when little Billy down the street would get chicken pox, and then, Johnny's mother and Timmy's mother and Ralphie's mother. Yes, I know every single name I know comes from movies or TV shows. They would the Beeves mother. They would all send their kids to, little Johnny's house or Timmy's house, whoever the hell's house it was. I said, so that they could all catch the chicken pox, so that they could all have it and get over it, and then move on with their lives. Does anybody remember the Brady Bunch episode with the measles? Didn't they spread the measles around on purpose so that they could just get it over with? Wasn't that a thing? Can't it just work the same way with this? Because I'll be honest, if there's something out there, I would rather just go ahead and get it. That way I could be immune to it and be done with it. Does it... The word selfish has come up so much over the past month, really. Oh, you're being selfish if you want to go outside and do what you want and all that stuff. You know what? If you think that's selfish, then so be it. That's what you say. Because I'm not being selfish. I'm being responsible for my own health. Okay? Hundreds of thousands of people die every year. Millions of people die every year. I think thousands of people die every day. What are you doing for them? Natural causes or not. Thousands upon thousands of people die every day. It's a fact of life. People die. It's sad. It's especially sad when it's somebody you know. That's why people get freaked out about stuff like this, because they don't want their loved ones dying. I understand that. If you don't want your loved ones dying, then do your best to protect your loved ones. Don't tell everybody else in the world that they need to worry to protect your loved ones. There are some of us out here that understand how these things work. That we understand that herd immunity will help us get over it. I mean, in this climate, in this world, it makes you sound like a heartless bastard. It really does. I don't care about your grandmother because I care about my own health. You know what? I care about my grandmother too. I care about my mother. They're both in that range. My mother's immune deficiency is pretty bad right now. Okay? She shouldn't be going out. My grandmother should not be going out. That's fine. But I'm not going to shut down an entire city's economy just to protect my mother and my grandmother. All right? I am concerned more with the future generations of the world. I'm worried about my granddaughter, and I'm worried about her friends, and I'm worried about all that other stuff. My mother and my grandmother, they are still there, and I love them. And if it means that I need to shut them down and keep them away, and protect them, do what I have to do for them, then fine, that's great. But I'm not going to ruin everybody else's life in order to be able to do this. And that's what I think people don't understand. Everybody's worried about you're being selfish for worried about your parents and your grandparents by shutting everybody else down. That's what you're doing. This is on an individual basis. That's what this is. You're being selfish by shutting down the economy. You're being selfish for that. You're not letting herd immunity pick up the pieces. You're not letting this thing do what it needs to do and keep everything running. You're killing it all just so that you can feel privileged enough to be able to say, oh, I stayed inside. Oh, I wore a mask outside, so that you could be out there and support the nurses that are out there making the TikTok dancing videos. They're dancing on the graves of people. That is literally what that is. There's a quote in Final Fantasy X. You guys haven't known it's a game. It's a video game. And it's the main character Tidus. He gets pulled into this world where there's a woman. Her name is Yuna. And in order to send the souls of people that have died off into the afterlife or wherever the hell else they said it was, she has to do this ritualistic dance. And Tidus says, it's kind of sad, really. People die and Yuna dances. And that's literally what's happening. People are dying, supposedly, and nurses are dancing. Not only are the nurses dancing, the nurses are dancing in the ways of the ancients. They're dancing like Kali and Shiva. You go look that shit up. I'm not kidding. The way that they wave their arms, the way that they're dancing around, these are ancient ritual dances. Can't believe you people. And you're applauding it. They have entire times set out in the days for people to sit outside their windows and applaud that crap. Yeah, I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting over it because that's where we are right now. Because it's absolutely time to start looking at what's going on here. We're well past the point. You've killed businesses. You've killed people. You've killed people because of suicide and homelessness and starvation. These people are having problems feeding themselves. And what's worse than that, the meat plants, meat processing plants, the farmers, these people are starting to shut down now too. What are you going to do when there's no food? You're going to rely on the government to give you that friggin' lab-grown, what is it called? Beyond Meats. You're going to go live on the Soylent Green is what you're going to do. The Soylent Green is people. I'm not saying it's actually people, but is that what you're going to do? You're going to live on that stuff? Because that's where we're going. And do you think that they're going to let those meat processing plants open back up? I mean, hell, I got CV in my balls. What's to say that they're not going to be in cows? They've already said that there's been a tiger and a couple dogs and some cats that have died of this. What's going to happen when they say, "Oh, it's in the cows"? Oh, this is worse than mad cow disease. It's in the cows. The cows could infect you with it. What are you going to do then? Kill all the cows. There ain't no cows anymore. No meat. Oh, but the pigs don't have it. You can eat all the pigs you want. Screw you, man. Do you understand what's going on yet? This isn't just about some friggin' pandemic. They are restructuring the world. I've proven this for the past month of videos over and over and over again. When this thing first started, I went through 140 something pictures. Every single one of them from the very beginning of this thing had the number 33 encoded into it. That's where it started. And then slowly but surely they shut it all down. And then it got to the point where they said, well, we'll open it back up, but we'll only open it back up on the certain days that just happen to be coded to our special days that we use for rituals. May the 1st. And once we got to that point, what happened? Oh, we have to extend it. We have to keep going with it. So they did. They kept going with it. And while they kept going with it, they kept shutting stuff down more and more. I've seen more police brutality videos over the past month than I think I ever have. I have heard more sickening stories of people being arrested just for being outside. They're releasing inmates from prisons, murderers, rapists, sex offenders, and they're releasing these people from prisons because they're worried about them dying. And yet they're arresting, they're in front of their kids. They're arresting parents just for taking their kids out of their house to an empty park. They're arresting people on beaches. Beaches. Arresting people out in the middle of nowhere, camping. What is this? This is nuts. This is absolutely insane is what this is. And now you're talking about having robotic dogs running around with speakers on the top of them, yelling at people to not be around each other. And now it's sexually transmitted. What are you going to do then? It's been one step after another after another. And I keep saying it's going to go to another place. It's going to go to another place. It's going to be in our hair. What's it going to be after that? I keep saying that they are putting things in place right now where they can come door to door and test you and take you out of your house because you are going to be a problem for people in your house. It's one thing after another, after another, after another, and it just keeps piling up, and it keeps piling up, and the Hitler youth, the people that love to be snitches, are snitching. I heard something where they said that they were going to get like a Bitcoin or something, if you snitch on somebody. I don't know if that was true. That might have just been something I overheard, but the one guy in California, he said, well, you've heard the old line that snitches get stitches. Well, in this case, you'll get rewards. They got us turning on each other. They're lying to you. That this is how you do it. And it's creeping in. When are you going to stand up? When are you going to do it? Cannot. Protests are not working. I'm just saying. And I say all that, and the other day I was thinking, even if we did fight at this point, it might not work because maybe their computer algorithm, which is interesting because I was talking about Westworld. The new season of Westworld is about a computer algorithm that controls people's lives. The computer says, oh, you're going to do this for the rest of your life. So what we're going to do is we're going to steer you towards that end. It is ultimate control. It's what it was. I might do a whole video just on that. I don't know. But I was kind of sitting back and thinking, I was like, maybe that's what happened. Maybe one of their AI said people aren't going to be able to fight back, and if they do fight back, they're going to lose. So you might as well go ahead and pull this now. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe we're supposed to lose. That's what the computer says. Well, then fine. If we're supposed to lose, whatever. Let's fight. And then, I don't want to live in this world anymore. I really don't. I've given you enough reasons why, and it just sickens me and disgusts me. So for anyone that wanted to hear the message of what's going on right now, you had it. 50 minutes of me going over the stuff. we're going to talk about a different thing right now, and this is going to be the rest of the episode. So if you guys want to cut it off right there, then hey, see ya. Because this is all. I'm not going to try to. This isn't about showing off. This is about. It was a thought process in my head, and one of the reasons why I think these people like wearing the masks so much. So, goodbye to everybody that leaves now. For those that want to stay, I got some stuff to talk about. So, it came to my head the other day or yesterday because everything happened yesterday. 5/8. I don't know. Gotta be something. Came into my head yesterday that there's a reason why these people are enjoying wearing masks, and I got masks. Most times, as I sit here and record, you can look right here. Actually, you can kind of see the head. It's a display head. But right here, though, you can kind of see there are some masks that I have. I have tons of masks. I have bought a lot of masks. I've made a lot of masks. Let's see here. That was my Scream mask. I got that actually when the first movie came out. That's one of the original masks. I'm kind of proud of that one. At this Slipknot, I've got tons of these things. And I was kind of thinking about it, and I was saying, every time I wore one of these masks, it's a Bray Wyatt wrestling thing. It's the Wyatt family. I said every time I wear these masks, they empower you because you're covering up your face. You're taking away the one thing, the one insecurity that everybody has. You're taking it away and becoming something completely different. That's why masks are part of rituals. Truth Stream Media. Go check them out. Again, I'm plugging the hell out of them because they know what's up. This is my other Slipknot mask that I got. This is the one you usually see up on the wall. This is the one that I made myself with scrap fabric from Joann's. I'm kind of proud of this one too. But TruthStream did they did a video on what this could all mean, and one of the things inside of there said, part of the ritual is to wear masks to take away your identity. And that's literally what these masks are doing, is they take away your identity because you've got this entire part of your face. Who am I? Who am I? I'm just some dude. And I was thinking about that the other day too. While I was out, I was like, it was our cashier, I think. Or there was another cashier somewhere down the line that it just kind of got in my head, man, it's such a pretty girl, but you never know. Because she got that stupid mask on her face, And it's a muzzle. It's a muzzle like the slaves used to wear back in the day. I happen to have one. Not one of the ones back in the day. No, I made this one. This is one of mine. This one is, man, this is getting old. Getting all ragged out. It's a muzzle. I made this for my band. We were called Jar Fist. We were a metal band. I used to dress up in a orange jumpsuit. I don't know. I could probably pull those pictures up for you if you wanted me to. It's a muzzle. This is what you look like. This is what you look like. I didn't think at the time. I was going for like the Hannibal Lecter kind of thing, and everybody was saying, "Oh, you look like Bane from Batman." This was before the Batman movie came out, and I wasn't going. I was going for Hannibal Lecter and stuff. It wasn't until way later that I saw the slave muzzles for the ones that used to speak out, and they would put these things on them, and they'd chain them on them, and they would wear these things pretty much their entire lives, and they'd have little food places or little slits where you could slip food in. That's pretty much all it was. And this was part of the whole thing, because I see these, I have these up here on the walls and back there, and I didn't really think about it until yesterday, and I was like, It's what it is. It's, I had one. I had one for a long time. I didn't even realize that's what it was. This was my muzzle. And it's like I said, you wear it and you take away your identity. And it does something to your brain. It really does. When you're wearing these things, I'll show you my original that I wore. The first one that I wore for the band. This was actually a Halloween costume back whenever I still celebrated Halloween. This was it was kind of a Punisher-esque kind of. Everybody said, "Oh, look, it's because Halloween came out that year," and it's like, "Oh, you're trying to be Halloween," and not the original Halloween, but the Rob Zombie Halloween. And I said, whenever I would, people would ask me why I wore the mask on stage, I would say, you turn into something different. And the guys from Slipknot would say the same thing, is that this makes you something different. This gives you this kind of, God, this one stinks. Man. This gives you this kind of ability to step outside yourself and, let you go to places that you couldn't go to before. And it's very freeing. It's very freeing to wear a mask. And I think that's part of the psychology of this whole thing. Is that's why the people like wearing them, because it's very freeing. You don't have to be yourself. You can be separated from this reality by wearing that. It's not just about following orders. It's about, oh, I'm wearing this, and now I feel like I'm part of something at this point. Because let's be honest, one of the things that they've done over the past, 50 some odd years is they've separated our ability to be a part of something. They've slowly but surely fractured us away from life with each other. They separate us into classrooms. They separate us into daycares. They separate us into colleges. They're constantly moving people away from each other. And all we want to do is just be part of a tribe, a community. And they've taken that away from us. And wearing a mask, not only does it, take away that individuality of it, lets you be free of your individuality. But for other people that are wearing it, that's why I think Halloween is such a big thing, is that it lets you be a part of a thing, part of a group. And I absolutely think that's true, is because I've worn these. I've worn these for years. these, that's why that's why I own them. That's why I keep them. It's because they remind me that, I used to be like that. The inside of it is all nasty. I actually put some kind of fabric in the middle, in the back of it, in order to keep the rivets, because these are actual rivets. They were rusting because I was sweating so much. So I had to put some fabric on it, and it stinks. God, it stinks. I used to wear this uncomfortable thing on stage, if you could believe it. But it's, it's all part of the thing. I even took this is one that we actually bought from a store, and I kind of modified it myself and wore it. It's different, but it does. It separates you from that reality. It takes you away from that reality, and it creates something different inside of you, And like I said, I think that's the reason why so many people dig it, is because there's something to it, And not only that, I think there's even a spiritual aspect of it. This was the last one I did. This was made for Halloween, like, what, 3 years ago? 4 years ago. This is the last one I did. This was a pig. This is one of the pigs from what's the name of that? Is it Saw? But I saw one of the we went to Kings Island for a Halloween thing, and there was a pig butcher, haunted house. And I saw several of these guys with the pig masks, and I said, "That's what I want, pig butcher." So I got like a butcher's apron and this thing. This is one I'm proud of. This is the one I said whenever they force me to wear a mask, I'm going to wear this, because it's out of control. But what it is. You become somebody else. You absolutely become somebody else, and you just don't. You just divorce yourself from reality. And my rivets fell out. Oh, that sucks. But now they're just decorations. Now they're just reminders that of who I was. Because I don't have masks anymore. I don't do Halloween anymore. I don't do I don't do that. I don't need it. I have become something new in Christ. I don't need this stuff. It's like I said, I keep it more than anything just to remind myself that that's where I was. This is where I am now, and et cetera, et cetera. I have more floating around. They're probably in the boxes. We used to put this on and run around at night just to be dicks. It glows in the dark. This one's special. This one's kind of special. This was, like I said, this is one of the original pre-licensed Scream masks. This is exactly what this is. This was the actual masks that they used in the movies. That they went out to the Halloween stores and picked these things up. I still have the tag for this somewhere too. I don't know where it is. I don't know. Anyways. But that's my thing about the masks. Like I said, I why people like wearing them. That's why people, whenever they get out of the stores, they don't immediately take them off. They leave them on. They leave them on in a car. And they when they go for a walk, the ones that just amaze me are the guys that go out for the walks or the bike rides that are wearing them. And I'm like, it doesn't work that way, man. It doesn't work that way. That's my 2 cents on it. I just wanted to do that. Like I said, it made more sense to me to show the masks and to explain it with them, because if I didn't explain it with them, then it wouldn't have made sense to me personally. Because if I would have just said you wear them just because of this, just because of that, no, I can put this up right here, and I can tell you about those videos. There's a couple of videos out there of the band. I actually took it off like 2 or 3 songs in because it's just too damn hot. But when I can stop and say, when I used to wear this, when I used to put that orange jumpsuit on, when I used to pour that fake blood, and this is all these red marks right here, this is fake blood I used to go buy at a costume shop. When I used to pour that over top of my head and I'd go out on that stage, I was somebody completely different. And my girlfriend at the time, she said the same thing too. The guys in the band, they said the same thing. They said, you're a completely different person whenever you're behind that mask. And that's what it is. It's this ritualistic hiding behind the mask. It's hiding your identity. It's becoming something different than what you are. And now it's, not only are you becoming different, but you're involving yourself in the world, involving yourself in what the rest of the world is doing by wearing the masks and becoming part of the community. And now you've got these people out there that are wearing these specialty masks, which I have doo-dooed on that crap. I really just said doo-dooed on that crap. I have shat on that crap from the moment I saw it. It was like 1 week before, or no, 1 week after. 1 week after the lockdown started, you started seeing the advertisements for face masks that would have like NFL teams or video game characters, or the big Joker smiles or whatever the hell it was. You started seeing that like a week after, and I'm like, no, there's no agenda here whatsoever. But that's what it is, And in the end, it comes down to this: it's a muzzle. That's what it is. It's a slave muzzle. I even made it. I don't remember actually looking up slave muzzles when I did it, but That's what it is, man. It's just a slave muzzle. This one was a lot better than the other one. I actually only got to wear this once because after that the band broke up. But but I like this one. I wished that I could have used this one more, but I didn't. It's like I said, we broke up. It was what it was. Anyways, that's what I gotta say about it. That's what you are. What you look like right there. Put your muzzle on, boy. All right. I don't have anything else to say. That's all I got. So, I covered everything I needed to cover. I feel slightly better. I do, just for having gotten it off my chest. It's like I said, I need to take a break from this. I need to walk away from it. It's just too much overload. It's information overload, and it's really affecting me on just deep down spiritual levels. I need to. I definitely need to go read my Bible more, and I definitely need to pray more, and try to purge this darkness from around me, because we all need to find that light. Wherever the light is, we need to find it. We need to start running for it, because it's definitely time. You guys take care, and stay safe. Do not live in fear. Do not live in tyranny. Do not do not let them. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what else to say there. Just don't live in fear and don't live in tyranny. It's something's going to have to change, and if it doesn't change soon, then we're all going to be forced into this kind of society that I don't think any of us are going to like. Um, I don't want to have my every movement tracked. I don't want to have to worry about. I'm not going to go into it. I've already gone into it. Dude, if you want to know what my thoughts on this whole thing are, seriously, I have an entire backlog of videos. I just got to stop talking. I got to go. I got to put all this stuff up, and I'm just going to take it easy for the day. So you guys stay safe, pray, read your Bibles, and God bless you all, man. Seriously. Take care of them.